Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is many a Truder, welcome to the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, which is, I'm not actually 100% sure. Like, is it an expansion, a DLC, a remaster, a sequel that's been sort of blended back into the original? I don't know. And I think me not knowing may in fact be the point, because it's a very weird narrative comedy game that likes to trip you up. So, to give you an example, every time I load up the game's generating new sliders. So, on this occasion, I need to adjust the slider until the dog and the cat are friends. So I assume, yes, every time I adjust this slider, they get closer and closer together. And now they like each other, and okay, we're going to max out dog and cat friendship. Great. Please adjust the slider till you stop adjusting the... Oh, bloody hell. Okay, right, this is... Welcome to the Stanley Parable. This is, yeah, pretty much how it's going to be.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
So okay, this here is how the original game began. And part of the trick is, yes indeed, you've got a narrator. And you can choose to do what he says or ignore him, but what I'm worried about is, the game did specifically ask me whether I played the original. And I said yes, so it knows I've done this already.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
You see, like right here. Obviously, I can just go right instead.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
But okay, as I say, I'm very suspicious with the fact the game knows I've already done the base game. Okay, I may have been overthinking how to find the new content. Yeah, it would be very appropriate for the Stanley Parable to have a door marked as new content. Oh, here we go. The jump circle.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Ooh, I could jump. Oh, that's very exciting. Okay, you didn't used to have a jump button. Outside of the jump circle, tapping A is just interact. You can't normally jump. Okay, well, this is something I'll be doing abso-flippin'-lutely, though. Hang on. How is this being measured?
Is that it?
What are you plugged into? Are you plugged into yourself? Because that's kind of weird.
Right?
Alright, here we go. New content. Let's do it. And... ooh. We went red. And now I can't... oh, I can't jump anymore. Oh. That wasn't jumps remaining I'm supposed to do. That might have been jumps remaining I'm allowed. I might have just used up all my jumps. Because red means... okay, on to the next, I suppose. Welcome to the Stanley Parable, where nothing makes cocking sense. Oh, but now I'm... no, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I've restarted somewhere different. And that's a picture of where I'm supposed to be. Narrator man? This isn't where Office 427 is supposed to live. Something's gone. Uh-oh. Something's gone wrong.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
But yes, the whole point of all of this nonsense is, what happens if you ignore what the game's telling you?
Oh, you don't want to see the cool surprise I made for you? Well, fine. You're a dork anyway, so who cares?
Oh, you see, hot pink and new content. Now that's the stuff.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Ooh. Okay. Well, that's new.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Oh, I like all the theoretical different logos. Oh, those are lovely. Okay, so we've got office decorations, and also that guy's supposed to be turning to face me very slowly, right? Yes, that's not supposed to be creepy, that's supposed to be happening. We've got a reassurance bucket, and a button that says the name of the player that's playing the game. I mean, give it a go, sure.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
I mean, he's not wrong. That is too big and too small. This is an excellent button critique right here. Alright, here we go.
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim. Sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
If your name's Jim, this game's an instant 10 out of 10.
Jim.
Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again. Do it again.
Jim.
Ooh, it hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
Okay, well now you've said that.
Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much, Jim.
There's no such thing.
Jim.
Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
Jim.
I miss the Jim button.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
I mean, the Stanley Parable is sometimes, yes, a bit strange and terrifying, but also surreal and weird. This gets the surreal and weirdness. This kind of embraces the fact that sometimes it can be a little bit, yes, sinister. I'm going to go with get well someday, because that implies there might be some form of, like, subplot going on, where Stanley's in fact in a coma, and all of this is happening in his head, something like that old video game Chestnuts.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
Okay, me and you game need to have a chat. Oh yeah, there she is.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle.
We did, I'm so sorry about that.
I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
I did actually use up all my jumps. Okay, I hope there's not a jumping during this bit ending, because if so, I can't get that ending anymore. I burnt all my jumps too fast, I'm sorry. Okay, hang on, I've got a map to the entire expo area. And the button that says gym, yeah, we got all that, no trouble. Infinite hole is off to the left. Yes, we want the infinite hole. Let's go find the infinite hole.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Okay. Why does it have a strange... Oh, was that the hole? That was the ceiling. Sorry, I was wondering why there was a terrifying roar coming out of it. Because that did strike me as... No, there is a strange roar coming out of it. Possibly the last people who fell into it. Okay. I mean, I'll give it a go, absolutely. Try anything once, and... Alright, we're definitely falling.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Nope. No, I don't believe you. I don't believe you one little bit.
I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
Oh no, if it's infinite, what's the rush, mate? If you've made an infinite hole, then there is no rush to teleport whatsoever.
Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
I can literally see the light at the top from here. This is not that deep. Someone who goes for a parachute jump, they would be falling for longer than this by choice, for fun. Okay, your definition of how much a person needs to fall is woefully insufficient. No, I'm staying in the hole now. Alright, as a matter of principle, until you admit that you are the problem, I'm staying in the hole. Ooh, the style guide's down here. So, apparently, every pause button should be Roman numeral 2. That makes sense, absolutely. Just the two of us, Okay, that'll be potential slogans for the Stanley Parable 2, meeting at 2 PM from management. Oh, they had fun with this, clearly. Then a lot of cigarettes. For some reason, people decided to smoke on this side of the hole, but none of the other, so then again. Something as light as a cigarette, that would fall, yeah, like, randomly. It would flutter around. It wouldn't just cluster here, because people were smoking up there. That would imply that people were smoking down here. So, how did... Oh. Check for secret panels, because somebody has been in here. Also, this mug was not dropped, because if it was, it would have shattered. This mug hasn't shattered, therefore, oh, this story is just full of holes. Something is going on here. Beyond the fact that, it's a very deep hole. Right, it's been 10 minutes, and there is obviously going to be some form of achievement for just sitting in the hole long enough. But unfortunately, this is the Stanley Parable, meaning that length of time could be anything up to 10 actual years. So, I'm just going to press Y. You win this round, game.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
I'm going back in the hole.
Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal.
Perfectly
normal.
normal.
Would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of...
Okay, it was shallow at that
Did
time.
the hole seem even shorter to you this time?
Oh, flip, it did. It did as well.
You spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
Okay, hang about. Just check everything is the same, because it appears to be to me. Okay, we're going back in. I think it's going to be shorter again.
I've guessed. You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where...
Oh, yeah. Oh, flippin' yeah.
Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
Okay, well now you're on board. I don't want to do it anymore.
Well, there it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, how is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
It's moments like this I'm really sad I used up all my jumps. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Is the, teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again.
If only I had more jumps.
Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
I feel like in some way or another, that's going to be the speech Claire gives me when she eventually gets tired of my nonsense too. Oh. Wait, hang on. Hang on, the hole. The hole, it's going down. This is my last moment to get out of the hole, except I can't get out of the hole. I feel like I should get out of the hole. It's going to take a long time for the hole to get back to how holy it was before, like, the original shortening of the hole took place. Like, it was a fair way down, and I was falling at a fast pace, and the hole does not seem to be accelerating, as far as I can tell, but without a frame of reference directly next to me, it's hard to tell. It could be going faster or slower. Change perspective. Oh, well, this is new. Ooh. Okay, it's not speeding up. I can now verify that. Gotcha. Okay, perception's apparently music. Not so keen on that. That's not really whole music, is it? I mean, that's kind of decent whole music. I'm gonna change the perspective again. Oh, that's a good dramatic perspective. Okay, shift reality. It's slightly brighter now. I feel like I've just turned the contrast too far to the right, but okay. And now, oh, that one's dramatic. Okay, change. Oh. Wait, hang on. Am I at the bottom of the... No, I'm not. But there's just a sea of red around me. Okay, the music got too sinister. That's better. Well, kind of. Changed myself. Now I'm a robot. Now I'm upside down. Now I've got a weird flobbly head. Change perspective. Okay, we're going in a loop now. Change reality to... Oh. Okay. This is interesting. I mean, I don't know whether we get to the bottom of the hole at some point. Maybe we do. Maybe we don't. I like this one. This feels like a good combination for, like, some form of indie roguelike right there. Oh, hi, you're back. The game just crashed. And I have no clue whether it was supposed to or not. It's hard to tell with the Stanley Parable. Oh no, the game's had enough of me. I'm not allowed in the whole room. I couldn't be trusted around the hole, and now I'm just not allowed in the whole room. And that's just the sort of thing that's bad for one's self-esteem. Okay, the bare minimum. We've got to go and see the other big new feature. The reassurance buckets.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Okay, so I could hug the buckets. I can't leave, I've been locked in. What if I just don't want to hug the bucket? I feel weird hugging a bucket.
Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
I want to put the bucket into the hole. Okay? And I'm very, very sad I probably can't do that, because I slightly ruined my chances with the hole. You see, if I'd just done things in a different order, I could have seen myself holding the bucket in third person. But nope, now I don't get that. Oh, we're down the rabbit hole at this point. Okay, so, the Stanley Parable 2 has now taken over the intro screen. And it does look rather fancy, I'm not gonna lie. Uh-oh, some of the changes have now bled back into the original game. What does that mean? Does that mean the original game has now had new stuff inserted into it? Oh flip, the reassuring bucket is here. Okay, that's here now. Okay, if I take that, presumably I feel reassured, right? I mean, this is the reassuring bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Did he feel reassured? Because if he doesn't, the bucket is not doing its job.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Oh no, with the power of the bucket in hand, he was ready to go right, damn it.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Okay, this is the base game story, but it's been rewritten to include a reassuring bucket.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be.
Okay, I should get some drinks, because with the bucket, I could carry so many cans all at once. It would be great.
Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
I mean, I could do that. I feel like at this point, me and the bucket should just go and do our own thing.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Ooh, the bucket can speak now. It's got a voice. It's slightly nasally.
Good,
said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
No, don't trust the bucket. The moment the bucket started talking, it lost me. Alright, we're not going where the bucket says anymore. We're going into the... I can't remember how these rooms fit together. We're going into the... Ooh, the danger room. I love it.
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless... What if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
I've stumbled into an entire bucket taxonomy submission by virtue of going the wrong way twice and then tossing myself off a cliff.
Now then, I'm going to run you through some test scenarios and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket. Simple enough, right? This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is or is not a bucket. Okay, let's begin. Item 1. Is this a bucket?
I've decided to get this test wrong.
Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Gosh darn it, fools.
Item 2. Is this a bucket?
Okay, need to go and examine it. Oh, I can't examine it. Okay, I can't leave my thing. I'm trapped in here. You normally are, yes. Okay. I mean, logically, it looks the same as the first one. No, if it was real, then the handle would fall because of gravity. It's a fake.
Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket, not an actual bucket.
Okay, I'm accidentally getting this right.
Item 3. Is this a bucket?
Okay, presumably it's a fake, right?
Correct. This is a bucket.
I don't know whether I'm a genius, incredibly lucky, or the game just always says you're right.
Item 4. Is this a bucket?
Definitely.
Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one. Is this a bucket?
Alright, keep on going, absolutely.
Correct. This is a bucket.
How is that one different to the last one?
Item 6. Is this a bucket?
Definitely not, it's a tractor.
Trick question. Both. Gotcha. Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. It should be around here somewhere.
I've got a bucket if you need a spare. Yes, that's a bucket.
Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket?
I mean, something is presumably a bucket, right?
You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence, and yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket? Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
No, don't you dare!
Here we go.
He can't do it. He can't take my bucket from me. It was a key new feature of the Stanley Parable 2.
What happened? Is everything gone? Why did everything disappear? Wait, was everything a bucket? Every single thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... except me. I'm not a bucket after all. And you, Stanley, you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets. Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that. Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
And that is one of the game's new endings. The bucket ending, where you go on the Is This a Bucket show, discover the entire universe is made out of buckets, and accidentally destroy the universe, leading the narrator to reset it. And that pretty much sums up the Stanley Parable right there, doesn't it? And that's probably one of the less weird endings, and that should tell you everything you need to know. Worth a look-see, this absolute culking nonsense. I have no idea what's going on half the time, but as I said at the beginning, I think that may be, the point. The Stanley Parable Not 2, link in the description below, worth a look-see I'd say, and yes indeed, bloody hell, might play a bit of this in my own time, just to try to figure out what the bloody hell is going on, because right now, I have no bloody clue. But in the meantime, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been, possibly, the Stanley Parable 2. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Were we doing virtual reality, or was that just like a metaphor for lesbian sex? And then he smacked me lightly across the face with the money! What? This is... well, where is this going? What's happening? We're going to buy a whole new bin, and we're going to write Brendan on it, and we're going to put him in it and toss it off the pier.